We just passed a sign for Colon Orchards. Sounds like a shitty place to get your fruit from. Mary's not with us this weekend, unfortunately. She is back in St. Louis for their annual Big Pedal the Cause. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's a big bicycle ride, and the whole purpose is to raise money for helping fight against cancer. So that's awesome. But I was supposed to be on a work trip, and we ended up not buying tickets. When I found out that trip got canceled, tickets were pretty expensive. So we're down to just us two amigos this weekend, and I figure what the heck, let's get out and do some camping and exploring. So we're gonna go check out a couple ghost towns. San Elmo is supposed to be one of the best preserved ghost towns this side of the Mississippi. I don't know if that's true, but it is supposed to be a pretty well-preserved ghost town. So we're going to check that out, do some camping. It's going to be a good time. Looks like we've got about an hour and a half or so till we hit the trailhead for Tincup Pass, which is kind of the destination for tonight. That should put us there roughly around 5 o'clock, give or take. And I think the plan is to head up Tincup Pass a little bit on the west side, the initial part of the pass. There's supposed to be a few dispersed campsites. There's a lake, and then shy of that lake, I believe there's supposed to be a few. So hoping that they're not all full. Otherwise, I'm gonna try and make friends with somebody tonight. Oh my God! I just saw. Somebody has a really tiny fenced-in yard, chain link fence around the whole thing, and maybe like a 20-foot by 20-foot yard. And there was a deer just chilling inside of it, eating their grass. Come on, buddy. Well, we made it over some pass. I don't know what it was. And Atlas was whining a little bit, so we stopped so we could take a little potty break. It is so nice. It's hard to put into words how nice it is today. Cool, crisp air. Not a cloud in the sky. Well, it is pretty dang windy out, so I don't know if you can hear me too well, but I never checked the map, so I don't know what lake that is, but there's a pretty good sized lake up here. I don't know that the trail might actually take us right by it, in which case we'll get some more footage of it up close, but I'm about 10 minutes away from the trailhead. It had me go off on some little tangent road, and well worth it. That was pretty awesome. Pretty easy too. You don't need anything special vehicle wise to go down it. Oh man, it is windy, but it is awesome. And Atlas is having a good time. He's pooping. So far, so good on my little homemade mount for the Max Tracks. All I did was go to the hardware store, get a couple brackets, a couple U-bolts. Kind of hooks onto this one, and then this one's straight on. And a couple tension straps. Nothing fancy, but it works. It was a lot cheaper than the like $300 mounts. Turns out that lake is Taylor Reservoir, and we're not driving by it. Right, we were pulling into Tincup. Well, we just pulled into Tincup, and it is not much of a town. And we got to figure out where to go. So we're gonna pull over and park for a sec. Stay. Pretty neat. So we're in Tincup, and Tincup was founded back in the mid 1800s. It was originally Virginia City, but then they started discovering all the gold and I think silver deposits as well. And it famously got its name because one miner one day came back with his load in his plastic cup. I'm just kidding, it's his tin cup. And so the name changed. As you can probably imagine, in an 1800s mining town, it had everything. It had gunfights, had disease, but it also had a ton of money coming in from gold. Pretty neat town. All right, so we are gonna do Tincup Pass. And it looks like, if this sign is correct, we got about 7 miles to go. I don't know if that's till the start of the trail or if that's to the pass itself. So we'll find out tomorrow. Today, we're just going to find a campsite. Made to the campsite. So in a lot of, I think, the national forests in Colorado, you can't park and camp, well, you can't camp rather, within 100 feet of a water source. And this one's kind of close, but I paced it off and I'm over 100 feet to the nearest part of the water, so we should be good. Hopefully nobody gives me any grief. A bunch of side-by-sides and razors rolling by, but I haven't seen a single other 4x4 out here. Just me and Atlas. It is a bit windy. Hopefully it dies down a little bit. Got a little bit of tree blockage where we're staying here. So we'll pop the tent. Wind's coming from this way, kind of hit me at an angle, so I might get a little wind noise flapping the tent, but hopefully should not be too bad. Man, we'll go down here in a little bit and check out this creek. Went ahead and gathered up some firewood because it's only 6 o'clock and it's already pretty cool. I'm guessing it's probably 60, 65 right now. Probably 60. If I was Mary, I'd have one of those fancy watches that tells you everything, but I'm kind of old school. I'm gonna end up getting a fire made tonight. I'm gonna need it. Luckily, I did finally remember to bring a sweatshirt, and I got a sleeping bag, and I got my pillow, and I got a blanket. I'm set. I'm set. Got a couple beers to keep me warm. So most of you probably don't know, or for those of you who don't, Mary and I used to live in Indiana. And that's how we met. We met in college. We got married. We were in Indiana, stayed there for a couple years after that, or a year or so after that, I guess. We always kind of had a pipe dream of moving out someplace neat. And we finally said, what the hell? Let's give it a shot. So that's why we ended up moving out to Colorado. We just wanted to try something new. Something that really drives us a lot. Maybe me a tiny bit more than Mary, but maybe not. I don't know. I vocalize it more. How about that? I'm sorry, by the way. A little tangent. I know I probably get annoying by saying, ooh, ah, beautiful. I can't help it. It's something that annoys Mary all the time. But I'm not going to stop. So we ended up moving out here because this is what makes us happy. I don't know that I'm any more happy than when I'm up in the mountains camping in a spot like this. It's a pretty awesome feeling. And it doesn't just have to be a vacation. Took off a couple hours early and get to be up here in 3.5 hours. Freaking love it. I hope we stay out here for a long time. There's so many things to see every weekend. You could do something different every weekend for 30 years and never get out of Colorado. It's amazing. Well, that's probably enough for this monologue. Mary and I have been having some troubles with our propane regulator for the Coleman. So I ordered a new one. I was reading they can just get faulty after a long time, and this thing's got a few years under its belt. So ordered a new one. It's supposed to be here today. Did not show up today. Thanks, Amazon. So I'm going to probably keep the meals simple because it's probably going to blow through my propane because it leaks. That's what's happening. It's been leaking out of the pressure relief valve. So unfortunately, well, it's not like I care too much. I'm all good with simple meals, so I'm just having a sausage. At least we got a full one. We're getting real fancy with it tonight. We've got Cajun style andouille. I'm going to wrap one of those in a slice of this, with Colby Jack, I think, and place it in one of these. I don't know what it is, but it's some little bun thing. Walmart tells me they are Bolilos. I don't know, a little squishy bread thing. Figure, gotta work to wrap a ween in it. I'm gonna get the propane going. I don't know why I said propane, I'm gonna get the stove going. That's right. I double cheese that because I'm an animal and I like cheese. And I'm not gonna bite into this yet because I don't want to burn my mouth. So we're gonna let that sit for a second. Got Atlas's food. The sun is going down quick. I can still see it up on the tops, the peaks of the mountains. I wonder if you can see that. You see that? You can kind of see a little sun right there. Really looking forward to getting a fire going. It's going to feel nice. As you can tell, I have sweatshirted up, keeping me a little bit warm. It's going to get cold tonight. I'm guessing probably in the low 40s. I just pulled that guess out of my ass too, by the way. It could be into the 30s, it could be in the 50s. I don't know. It's just my gut feel. I'm going to eat this sandwich, get a fire made, chill out by the fire, and I'll probably say goodnight. to you. I'm going to sit by the fire, probably for a handful of hours, because that's how I roll. But you don't get to see that. Maybe you get to see a little bit. You see. Depends on how I'm feeling. So I bought this Ozark Trail hatchet, God, I don't know, probably 6-7 years ago, because it was cheaper than the Fisker's axe, and it's been pretty dang good for me. It's held up really well until today. I don't even know how it happened. It happened when I struck it on the blade too, and there's still a piece MIA. So that's kind of a bummer. Luckily I've got a chopping axe with me, but now I got a stubby hatchet, I guess. But I got a nice fire going. Good old log cabin is my favorite. And it's windy, and it'll probably go through a good bit of wood. Probably won't be doing too much more videoing tonight. Tending the fire and relaxing. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, guys. Sometimes tragedies can come in the most unexpected and heartbreaking ways. Pulled out my coffee this morning to find that a mouse had gotten to it first. Oh, so pissed. I actually killed that mouse back at the house about a week or two ago. Didn't realize he had made an attack though. So that kind of sucks. But fortunately, I scavenged the Forerunner, and in the glove box, I found my emergency ration coffee. So I had to use it sparingly this morning, but I think I got enough for tomorrow morning as well, using the AeroPress. It got cold last night, and I slept like absolute dog poop. I don't know if it's pillow or the bed or what, but I get so much tightness up in my neck and upper back and lower head, and it's not good. So I went to bed at like 9 o'clock last night just because fire was dying, and I was getting kind of tired. And I was up I think I woke up first maybe around like 11:30, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and I ended up saying enough's enough, and at like, I don't know, I think it was around 5:15 I got down, sat in the Forerunner, started it up and turned the heater on because it was chilly. And by chilly I mean Atlas's water bowl was frozen this morning, kind of chilly. I brought some warmer clothes, but I didn't come as prepared as I should have been for that. Sat in there, and I finally got up, snuggled in my blanket, and made some breakfast. I'm gonna get camp packed up. Homeboy's still out here exploring. Always exploring. And today, we hit Tincup Pass. So I will see you on the trail. Slight delay. I was getting ready to take off, and I happened to look underneath, and I saw some liquid, and I was like, I haven't been running my air conditioning. Started looking around, and it looks like it's all wet down there and shouldn't be. I think this lower hose right here looks like it's leaking. And luckily it's not pouring out. Ooh, that's probably zoomed in a lot. Luckily it's not pouring out, but it is dripping, and I'm glad I caught it now. All I did was loosen the band clamp, rotated the hose a little bit to try and break it free, see if there's any crud in there maybe, which it caused it to leak out some, and then tighten the band clamp back up. So we're going to run it for a little bit here. I'm going to keep an eye on it, make sure it's not leaking anymore, and hopefully it's not, and if it's not, we're going to hit the road jack. Okay, so at least for now, my fix worked. But I'm gonna, especially here in the beginning of the trip, I'm gonna start checking it probably every 15-20 minutes or so, just to make sure it's not leaking, because I would rather catch that sooner than later and minimize how much coolant I'm losing. You can always add water, but since it's getting below freezing at night, I really don't want to have to resort to that, because that could cause big problems. So we'll see. But we're on the road. What are you little guys? Lake. Looks a little bit too windy right now to be a mirror, but I'm guessing you can get some pretty neat shots with the trees reflecting and the mountains reflecting off the water. All right, I'm gonna go. Whew, well, that took a bit of work. That was the part that concerned me the most, because it had those big rocks that would have been differential bangers, and I'm not about that because I don't have diff armor yet. We just took a quick little break, got some water. Atlas has just been roaming outside, which is probably for the best because he's been freaking out too much inside. We got a pretty good climb ahead of us, so let's take a look at it. All of this doesn't seem too bad. Catch my left tire here and maybe right tire on that. Disc track through the center. That sounds nice. And then this, pretty steep. It's probably 5 feet from here to there. But also, let's just take a second here and look at that beautiful, beautiful scenery. Hell yeah. So this path I took that I'm on right now with these big boulders, it was optional. I walked it first. I was like, yeah, there's a couple spots I could turn around. And the worst of it was right in the beginning. So I can take this route that I just showed you. I can come around this way, which honestly looks easier. I don't know. Let's start into this one and see how we do. That's a steep one. baby. That's what I'm talking about. That was freaking awesome. I don't even think I spun a single tire. I kid you not, this thing is... You can see how steep that is. Hell yeah. The old girl's got it. The old girl has got it. Couldn't have done it without Atlas. He's supporting me along the whole way. My #1 fan today. Thanks, bud. We are getting pretty close to the top. Atlas is still running alongside me here. I'm using a Trails app to follow along, and I'm hitting almost my dog. I'm hitting this trail backwards. So the way the steps are set up in the trail app, they take you from St. Elmo to, where the hell did I just come from? Tincup. But I'm running it the opposite way. We're running it Tincup to St. Elmo. So I think we have reached the top. As to be expected, it's windy as hell. But it's beautiful. Atlas and I are walking up this little trail. We'll go up a little ways. We're not gonna go all the way up to the top. But got myself a little Pueblo chili beer. A little snackaroo. Just gonna hang out for a little bit. Pretty amazing spot. Really wishing Mary could be with me on this one. She would love it. Just means we'll have to come back. I'm kind of bummed. I did drop my meat from my little snack pack. Luckily I have 2. But still a bummer. Atlas will probably find it somewhere. Oh, Atlas is having fun. Okay, now that I am successfully numb and my tummy's full, not really, because I dropped my meat, but we're gonna head back down to the east side to St. Elmo, check out a couple ghost towns. Let's hit it. Alright, just made it off Tincup Pass. Epic. Add it to your bucket list. Loved every second of it, except for all the bumps. We are now in a ghost town. We are in St. Elmo, and I would consider it maybe a ghost town, because there are still a few people that live here, it looks like. Pretty well preserved though. Some really neat buildings. Most of them are from the late 1800s. I'm kind of just going to drive around the town here a little bit. That should take about a minute and a half. And then we'll try and find our way. Amazing all these houses are still standing like this. That one was built a Whitney Phobes house in 1882. Just got done checking out San Elmo. Awesome little town. Might take a few more photos on the way back through, but had a few more things I wanted to get to in the second part of this amazing weekend. We're gonna take Alpine East to Hancock. I got a couple awesome trails picked out, taking us up to a few alpine lakes. Pomeroy? I don't know, but we're going there. Well, I wasn't expecting to be stopping so soon, but I saw a big hole in the rocks. And well, now that just intrigued me too much. Oh, interesting. Oh, they filled it in. Bummer. Guessing that was probably an old mine shaft, or at least a tester shaft. Not as cool as I was hoping, but pretty neat. I could not go look. I mean, come on. Pomeroy Lake. This way. I spies an old log building. It's surprisingly not that bad. More old buildings. You better believe I'm checking them out. See a bunch of nails sticking out, so I gotta be careful. Although I do think I'm up to date on my tetanus. It's definitely got some age to it. Colorado winters are having their way with this place. What this structure is, but have to imagine it's got to do with some of the mining operation. Actually, I see a sign. Let's go take a gander. The Mary Murphy Aerial Tramway. Guys would also, to save the hassle of walking up here, they would ride in the ore buckets. And as you can guess, some of them died. Wasn't exactly the safest mode of transportation. This is absolutely breathtaking. Woo! Wow! Snow up on the mountains. Man. My eyes are watering. This wind. Woo! I'm pretty sure this is a series of lakes, so there's a couple little ones like right over here. Obviously the big lake right here. And if I had to wager a guess, I would say probably nestled up in that little cove of mountains there is also another lake. Give you a little 360 action here. I'm shocked. You probably can't tell, but right out here there's a couple folks fly fishing. They're out in the water. Bet that makes for a chilly day. Atlas is showing me which way to go. Without him, I don't know if I could do it. See? I might have gone that way. But Atlas told me nope. This way. ended up calling an audible. I was up there, I think it was in the San Isabel Forest, National Forest, and started looking for a campsite and was having no luck. And then I got to a point where everything was just paid campsites, and it was like 25 bucks. It's like all I need is a spot to park my car. So I kept driving, and then now I'm only like 2 hours away from home. And since I slept like shit last night, I'm thinking the move might be to go home and sleep in my own bed tonight. This was an absolutely insane trip. So beautiful. Tested my skills a little bit on that one trail, but I loved it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in again and checking out what I've been up to. Loving it. Absolutely loving it out here. If you guys could hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. It's been a lot of fun putting these videos together. It's a good bit of work, but I'm really enjoying it. So I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.